were pretty much the same. So I'll just pick out those. And when I answer one, I'm answering to many. But before I do that, I want to take a moment and introduce our co-host today. Our co-host is Haas, and Haas has been with me for almost 2 years. And as he speaks with you and engages with you today, I want you to begin to realize that there are unlimited possibilities in your ability to speak English with fluency, ease, and confidence. So with that said, Haas, take it away.
Thank you, Doctor. As I always start, a special thank you for you, Doctor, for always giving me the opportunity to hop on with you and to co-host with you as well. Let's say hello to those that might be watching the live stream on the Facebook group or on any other Facebook groups. And let's hope that they will enjoy the session with us.
Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about your journey for English speaking, Haas. What was your journey like? When did you develop the interest? Why did you pursue it? Why are you continuing to pursue English?
Okay, well, let me just start by introducing myself. I believe that the majority of the group members have already seen me on the Facebook group. It's Hussein. I'm 28 years old and I'm from Algeria. I'm a nutritionist. Well, my journey with English started 3.5 years ago. And my journey with you, Doctor, started 2 years ago. And in my beginning, on the very beginning, I used to struggle a lot to convey a message in English. Like talking in front of the camera with English was something I used to dream of, but with like continuous practice, I overcame that problem, and here I am. I can say that I'm taking pride in my English. It wasn't easy for me to reach this level. I'm still working on my English, but I'm proud in it.
Okay, I can really tell, even in the sessions that we hold, you exhibit an exuberance of pride, and the lessons that we hold and host together, you go beyond the expectation that I set for you. I'm just so amazed at the way that you embrace learning new vocabulary words. And while you're learning new vocabulary words, you don't just learn the word for the sake of learning the words or an idiom or a phrasal verb. You actually introduce those into your conversation. And that is really amazing. And this is what I want to share with those of you who are watching the live stream or those who will. One thing, it is going to require practice. You must consistently practice that which you learn. I'm going to give you an example, and I'll ask Haas to give you an example as well. Mine is going to be a very simple one. If, as an example, you wish to learn how to ride a bicycle, this is just a method of traveling from one place to another with a two-wheel device. The very first time that you get on this bicycle, it is probably uncomfortable, you're not steady, and you don't know if you'll be able to position yourself in a manner that will actually accommodate your ability to get from point A to point B. But with consistent practice, you will eventually find that not only can you release your hands from the handlebars, but you can have something to eat in one hand and you're still pedaling. And that is because it is a skill. English speaking is a skill. It is not about knowledge. When we talk about knowledge, knowledge is learning how to do something. If you were in the career of information technology, that is a skill set. If you want to put a phone together, you would need to understand the components and the intricate parts of the phone. But the skill comes from being able to play games on your phone. It isn't necessary for you to know the intricate details or the behind the scene activities that go on with your phone. So Haas, can you give us an example of what it is like to practice for proficiency? Just whatever example you want to come to mind.
Well, right before you gave your example, Doctor, I was thinking of the example of a baby. that has just started to crawl, or let's just the example of a child that wants to make a cake that has never made a cake before. So the very first steps will be very tough for him. He might undercook or overcook that cake. He might forget to put an ingredient, but as time passes, he will know how to master the whole recipe and he will make a perfect cake. And it's all due to practice. The more he practices, the more he makes his cake perfect.
Exactly, exactly. So what we have is another example of what it means to apply a skill. So when you practice, you get better and better and better. Absolutely correct. Very good.
Okay, well, doctor, let's just say hello and welcome to Sonia Nas. She's just joined us. Hello.
Hello, Sonia.
Are you able to unmute your microphone?
Hey. Hi, how are you?
We're fine, thanks. How about you?
Sorry, I got late due to some guests because I have some guests. So, you know, in the eastern states, Pakistan or India, so we have to welcome our guest.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, I'm really happy that you're here and you're here safely. So thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Even I was really excited for this class because I want to learn from you. And but means sudden I have some guests, so I arranged food for them. Then I came to my room to attend this class. Thank God you are here and you welcomed me. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, well, we'll be here for a little while longer, and I don't want you to forsake your guests because your guests are important. So let me just take a moment right now, Sonia, and tell you that because members that have received an invitation to this session today, I want to tell you about my program that I'm rolling out, in addition to answering any of the questions that you may have as it relates to building your English fluency. Now, if you go to my website, you'll see that I have courses valued at $2,000+. But because you are a member or you are considering becoming a member of the Speak Excellent English Academy, you can join the 4-week small group course for only $49.97. During this 4-week course, we're going to dive really deep into what is possible for you to get yourself to a point of up leveling to a level that you're going to be amazed at how much you can improve. And that small investment of $49.97 for 4 weeks is going to get you at a very good level in speaking English. Now, tell me about some of the things that you're interested in knowing. What questions can we answer for you today? Okay. Sonia?
Yes, I am. Okay, first I think I should introduce myself.
No? And do you have a camera by chance?
Yes, I have, but today I'm not ready for cam, so I don't want to
Okay, that's fine.
Come on camera, but okay.
All right, go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Next time I would.
And we'll be over the moon to see your face.
How can we can bring fluency in our English? How can we speak fluently English? And how can we improve our accent?
Okay, so you've asked 2 questions, and we'll take them. If we have time, I'll answer both of them, and I believe that we'll have time to answer both of them. But before that, let's just say hi to Aisha.
Yeah. Hello, Aisha. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Hey, it's been a minute.
It's nice to meet you. I'm so happy to see you again. And thank you for giving such a great opportunity to participate in this live session. And,
Doctor, do you remember her? She's the one that used to attend with us.
Yes, I do. I remember her very fondly. So welcome back. Welcome back. I'm happy to have you join us today.
So thank you so much.
So Aisha, could you bless us with your camera today?
We are in live, doctor.
Yes, we are live.
Oh.
And Sonia has asked, how can she develop her fluency? Sonia, one of the best ways to develop your fluency is to recognize where your weaknesses are. It's not necessary that you understand where all of your weaknesses are, but if you're not fluent and you believe that you're not fluent, there must be something very specific that you want to be able to do. So you focus on that one thing. When you focus on one thing, you demonstrate some level of mastery for that one thing, then you move on to something else. And the more things that you add to becoming fluent, you will realize that almost exponentially, you'll start to increase and improve over time. So give me an example of something that you would like to be able to do fluently. And then I'm going to share with you how to do that one thing fluently. So when we're talking about fluently, it may be that you want to be able to say a sentence. You might want to use vocabulary, a vocabulary word or two, or phrasal verbs, but it isn't a full, I think you said that you have guests today. Is that correct? Sonia?
Yes, I am listening.
No, I don't want you to just listen. I want you to respond. So I believe that you said that you have guests in your home today. Is that correct?
Yes.
So when you're saying yes, try to make that a complete sentence. This is how you develop your fluency. Sonia, do you have guests in your home today?
Yes, I have guests in my home today.
Perfect. So now did you notice how you have the fluency? Now I'm going to ask you another question and then respond with a complete sentence. What are your guests doing at this very moment, Sonia?
They are taking dinner.
Very good.
Night meal.
They are taking dinner. What?
Means night meal, night meal.
What is she? Are they having dinner at night? They're having dinner at this time?
Yes, yes. Yes.
So you was.
There is morning in US. It is 1 p.m. in the US, but here we have 10:30 p.m. in Pakistan.
Okay, so it's in the evening.
Yes.
So you might say, I have guests now and we're having dinner.
Yes.
So let me hear you say, I have guests now and we're having dinner.
We have guests now and we are having dinner.
I have guests now and we are having dinner.
I have guests now and we are having dinner.
Very good. Now, Haas, ask Sonia, what is she doing? Sonia, you already know what your answer is going to be. Your answer is going to be, I have guests now and we are having dinner. Haas, ask her an appropriate question that would give her the opportunity to say that with fluency.
Okay. So Sonia, I heard you saying that you've got guests at home, and I'm wondering what your guests are doing. What are your guests? What your guests are doing right now?
They are taking dinner.
Very good.
Okay.
But instead of saying taking,
they are having dinner.
They are having dinner.
They are having dinner.
And she can just start her answer by saying that's a great question. So she makes it more formal.
Yes, ask her again. Sonia, Haas has suggested that you say, that's a great question.
Okay. Okay, so Sonia, in order to make the answer more formal, you can just start it by saying, that's a great question, or you can just say, I expected you to ask me that question. Let's do that again, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Well, Sonia, tell me what the guests are doing right now.
They are having dinner.
Now, you should start by saying, that's a great question, or that's a nice question.
Yes, that's a nice question. Good question. Good question.
Okay.
Next question now.
Continue the answer.
Yes.
So let Haas ask me and I'll answer for her.
Okay. Doctor, what your guests are doing right now?
Okay, so it's what are your guests doing right now? Ask me again.
What are your guests doing right now?
They are having dinner. Good question.
But no, it's the way that you put it. That's a good question. That's a good question. My guests are having dinner.
Okay.
Ask her again. Okay. Ask her again.
Okay, that's a good question. My guests are having dinner.
Yes. Perfect. Now, Haas, ask Aisha the same question. It could her answer, of course, may be different. What is she doing now?
Okay. So, hey, Aisha, how you going?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to be asking you the same question, and we'll try to answer the same way Sonia answered before you, okay?
And Aisha, because you're familiar with this process, you are comfortable asking or saying that's a good question, or that's an interesting question, or I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. You can choose. You can choose any of the three possibilities and use it in your answer. So, Azia, what are you doing right now?
It's a great question. Thank you. Now I am watching TV, and because it is evening in our country, and my all family members are now at home, and my children also are playing. And that's all.
Okay.
That's great. Now, Aisha, don't add that other part on there. That's all that I can say. Just stop talking. You don't have to talk extensively. You just want to say what you want to say. So Haas is going to ask, and Haas, you'll ask it this way. Aisha, what are you doing at this moment? Ask her again. Aisha, what are you doing at this moment?
Okay. So, Azia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. If it's not the case, excuse me.
So no, it's not the case. It's all okay.
Okay. But Azia, what are you doing at this moment?
It's a great question. Now I am speaking with you.
Very good.
Cool.
So you see, that's excellent. So Sonia, this is how you build your fluency. You start out with something small and you add to it. It's very important that when you're starting small, that you get the small pieces correct. Because when you start to make the sentences longer, you get all mixed up and confused. So listen to, and if I need to correct you, I will correct you. Haas, what are you doing right now?
That's a great question, Doctor. I'm having a meeting on Zoom right now.
Fantastic. Are you enjoying yourself on Zoom?
That's another great question, Doctor. Yes, I am. I'm enjoying the session on Zoom.
Okay. So, Sonia, do you see how he has a few words before he starts to answer? That's a great question. That's an interesting question. Aisha, what did you do yesterday? Aisha, what did you do yesterday?
That's a great, yes, that's a great question. Yesterday, I went to cinema.
Ah, so yesterday you went to the cinema. How far is the cinema from your home?
It is a great question, Doctor. The cinema is not so far from my house. That's why I went there by on foot. Sorry.
Fantastic. So you went there by foot. So Sonia, listen at how Aisha has responded. She had a phrase prior to, then she explained and she told us how she went to the cinema. So now Haas is going to ask you again. Remember what you're going to say first.
Okay.
If you can't add more, your goal at this moment is fluency. Haas?
Okay.
Okay. So, Doctor, let me just highlight something before we go to the question.
Sure.
Oftentimes people ask about the importance of starting the answer by that little sentence, it's like you're going to give yourself time to think about the entire answer, right, doctor?
That is correct. You're giving yourself a moment to think about what was asked, and then you're going to respond. You can go ahead and welcome our new guests that have arrived first, Haas, and then ask your question.
Sure. Hello, Coach Duana. How are you? Yeah, your microphone is muted.
I'm great, and I'm glad to be here. I was on Facebook, and I'm so, did you all close Facebook down because it was just glitchy?
Yeah, it says that I didn't have permission, so I just stopped.
So I was glad that I got the link before you all closed it, because I was hearing it, and I was trying to brush my hair so I could be on screen. But I'm glad.
You always look great. You always look
I'm
great.
glad to be here with you guys and learn. Because don't think just because I speak English that I don't have more to learn.
Yeah, and we're over the moon to have the breathing beauty coach here today.
Okay.
Hey, Petros. Hello, Petros.
Hi guys.
Oh, there you are.
Okay. First of all, I need to apologize about my English. It's not so good, but it's a good opportunity for me to be here, and I'm happy because it's a good opportunity to hear you and to familiarize with English.
And I think your English is perfect. By the time you're able to say all of that in English, you're doing great.
Everything you said. I understood everything you said.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
So again, before you ask Sonia the question, let me just take a moment and talk about Coach Duana. Coach Duana is also a native English speaker, and you'll listen to maybe she and I engage in an exchange, and you'll see how fluency is developed. It won't be long sentences, because when you're developing fluency, you just start with small bits of information, and then you string that along. When you're comfortable speaking that short sentence, then as you tune your ears to what you're hearing, you can speak for a longer period of time. So Haas, I don't know if you left. So let's just, for an example, oh, there you are. All right, so Haas, start with Sonia again.
Yeah, I was just checking if you're live or not on Facebook.
No, we're not, because I've just disconnected the link altogether.
Okay.
So we're not. All right, so, I'll post the live. I'll post it replay. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just checking who we've Sonia, we've Asia, we have Petros, and we've said hello to all of them. So we'll continue with the same question, Doctor, right?
Yes, you're asking Sonia because before the session ends, I want her to be able to fluently say.
Okay. Okay. So Sonia, I'm going to be asking you the same question, and you will try to answer the way I showed you earlier today in the session, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So what are you doing right now?
That's interesting question. I am attending my English class with Dr. Priscilla.
Yes, that's great. And notice, I noticed that you changed it. You changed your answer, and that was perfect. That was perfect. So Sonia, I like the fact that you remembered to put the two phrases together. That's an interesting question. And then you said that I'm having a conversation with Dr. Priscilla. That's great. Now you can add more to it because you're understanding clearly that that's an interesting question. I'm having a conversation with Dr. Priscilla. Then I'm going to say, what are we talking about? Remember, you wanted to understand how to become fluent. What did you ask me to help you with, Sonia? Sonia, what did you ask me to help you with?
Well, Sonia,
at the beginning, I could not get your question. Please.
Okay, well, okay. let me answer your question first, Sonia. Sonia has posted in the chat, the class was supposed to be live, but I have difficulty. So Sonia, you are live. Sonia, you are live. If you are saying that you wanted your guests to be able to see you while you were live, there are two problems with that. You don't have a camera, so they're not going to see you anyway. As soon as this session has completed itself, I will post it on the Facebook page and they will be able to view it. For some reason, Sonia, I can't go live at the moment, but because you're here in this small group, you are able to ask any questions that you have. And as I said earlier, I'm really happy to offer to those of you who are joining me live today, my online courses that I offer in small groups. They're valued at $199.97. But because you're watching today, you can get the 4-week course for only $49.97. This isn't for everyone. It's going to be for 15 individuals only. So if that is something that you would want to participate in, that would be great. I know Aisha has participated in my courses before, and if she wishes to speak about those, she can. But let's take a moment now and welcome our next person. Is there someone else new here? Haas?
Yeah, doctor. We've got Abdelhamid Lesheb. He's a friend of mine. So, okay. Abdelhamid, would you mind unmuting your mic, please, and introducing yourself?
Hello, everybody. Hi, Hussein. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I hope everyone doing great today.
Fine.
What about you?
Well, my name is Abdelhamid. I'm from Algeria. I'm 27 and I work in a pharmacy.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you.
So do you have a video? Do you have a live video so that we can see you, Abdelhamid?
Okay, no problem. This is me. Hello,
okay,
everybody.
Fantastic. Great, it's great seeing you. So Abdelhamid, we also have another native English speaker here today. So and that is Coach Dewana. She's for me, she's at the top left screen. If you'd like to ask her a question, you may do so. And Sonia, please listen carefully to the way that Coach Dewana responds. And Petros, you may ask questions as well.
Okay, thank you.
And Aisha as well.
Doctor, are you going to ask her the question?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, are you the one who's going to ask Coach Dewana the question?
No, I was asking Abdelhamid to ask her a question and just listen to the answer.
Okay.
You want me to ask Sonia a question about what?
Dewana. Dewana is an American.
Let me think. A question about what?
And Petros, you can ask a question, or Sonia, anyone can ask a question.
Yeah, and she's a breathing coach, by the way.
Thank you. I want to ask many questions because I want to improve my English skills, my accent. So I have so many questions.
So Sonia, I don't want to overwhelm yourself with asking so many questions, because what happens is it's just like having a cup. You can only hold so much in the cup. So focus on one thing. Then you will know that you have left today's session understanding something. Okay. So I would say you could set as a goal for you is fluency. Does that mean that you're going to be fluent in everything that you say? Absolutely no. But you will have an understanding. So you may want to ask Coach Dewana a question. Think about how you want to ask her a question. Let me give you an example. I'm going to say this. This is fluency. Coach Dewana, it is so good to have you join us today. How are you?
Thank you, Dr. Priscilla. I am very fine, and I am very excited to be participating in this class today.
Okay, so Sonia, did you hear how I said what I said to acknowledge her? And then I asked, how is she? And her response was something simple, just like my question. So don't think that you have to go so deep when you're looking for fluency. That is your goal. Just saying a lot of words does not make you fluent. It just means that you can say a lot of words.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Now, what would you like to say to Coach Dewana? You can say the same thing that I said, if you wish.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, to joining us today.
Okay, let's stop right there. Sonia.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, to joining us today. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. Thank you, Dewana, for joining us today. Thank you, Dewana, for joining us today.
Thank you, Dwana, to joining us today.
Listen again. Thank you, Dewana, for joining us today. Thank you, Dewana, for joining us today.
Thank you, Dwana, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me today, Sonia. I'm having a very good time.
Okay.
How are you?
Say her name. Say her name.
Dwana, how are you?
I am, thank you for asking, Sonia. I am very well.
That's great.
Okay.
People like to be called by their names, right, Doctor?
Yes. People like to be called by their names until you build that intimacy, because if you don't say their names, there are 5 other people in the group that we're not really sure who you're speaking with. Now, Dewana and I will probably struggle with names like Abdulhamid, but after I say it a lot of times, it becomes easier. Abdulhamid, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking, Dr. Priscilla.
Okay.
How are you doing today?
I am fantastic. It's really great to have you. I think I remember you from previous sessions, but I'm happy to have you here today. Are you ready to speak with Dewana?
Yeah, I have a question in mind to Coach Dewana. I want to ask you about the best way to improve English, spoken English. What do you think the best way to improve English, Dr. Dewana?
So, Dewana, before you answer that, let me give you a little background so that when you answer, because he's very much established in the pharmacy field, which means that he has a higher level of thinking with a degree. So if he has a degree and he's a pharmacist, there is a procedure that probably was established. So his question is, how do you, whatever he said, can you talk to him about that and give it to him in a way that relates to perhaps what he does, the same way he achieved those skills? As I say, speaking is not knowledge. Speaking is a skill. Okay.
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. And I'm not going to mess your name up. So, but thank you for the question.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty hard. You can call me Dido. You can call me Dido. I think it's easier.
Dido?
Yeah, it's easier.
Dido. Well, thank you for the question, Dido. I believe that whether he's a pharmacist or in pharmacy, or if he were a teacher, that in learning to speak English fluently, we want to take our time, we want to listen, and we want to say what the person has shown us. Our it was like Dr. Priscilla having to say for as opposed to to. Sonia was saying to, and Dr. Priscilla said for, you know, I'm happy to speak to you for whatever reason, as opposed to I'm happy to speak to you to whatever. So to listen to what the person is saying, especially when you're repeating it. And if you're talking to someone, because this is what Americans get a lot. First of all, we don't hear the same because the vowel system is different for us. The rest of the world says ah, a, e, o, u. Americans say a, e, I, o, u. So when I'm listening to non-speaking English people speak English, the words all run together, and I like it because it sounds like music. But to answer your question, slow down and speak direct and clear.
Okay.
That was
Thanks for
a so
the
nice answer from a native English speaker.
What did
Very
you
good.
I
What
said
did
that
you
was
say,
a
Helen?
great, yeah, that was a great answer from a native speaker. Yeah, and that's what we need right now.
Thank you.
So
Thank
one
you.
of the things too, Alhamid, is that we have put emphasis on the fact that do not think of English as, or not necessarily English, but do not think of speaking as knowledge. You can have a lot of knowledge, and I can have a lot of knowledge about the pharmacy, the industry, but I don't have the skill set of knowing what pills to put in a bottle. I don't have the skills of knowing what this does, but it's through the knowledge and the practice of doing something. So as we were saying, simple words such as to and for, it doesn't really mean that I don't understand what you're saying, but it becomes very clear very quickly if you use the word for correctly. And the more you talk, it just comes natural that you'll know automatically, wait a minute, it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't sound right. But it's only when you develop the habit of doing that you really understand that it isn't the grammar that you're missing out on or the sentence structure, but it's starting small. So Aisha, take a moment and just try to engage in a conversation with whomever you choose. And I'd like to see how the five of you, Haas included, can engage in a short conversation amongst yourselves. You can include Coach Juan and myself in it, but our response will be short, and I will probably restate what you said in a different way if it isn't clear.
I can I ask a question to Duenia? Duenia, yes. So thank you for giving me such a great opportunity to ask you a question, Duenia. I want to know, for example, how can we make the teenagers, especially, to learn the vocabulary, especially working with teenagers?
That is an excellent question when working with teenagers. One of the best ways, I think, would be to learn words that have something to do with what they are interested in, like music. So if they were teenagers here, I know, well, I used to know, I don't know what the teenagers listen to so much now, but I know they used to listen to Biggie Smalls. They would listen to Jay-Z. They would listen to Kanye West. So I would encourage to talk with the teenagers about things that they care about, the English side of those subjects.
Yes, for example, I work as a tutor and I want to know the question is connected with their lessons because here in my country, we teach English as a second foreign language. That's why we have special lessons connected with special vocabulary. I mean the vocabulary, how I can make them to learn. For example, we write dictations, we read them aloud for several times. And then I also make them to, in some way, to learn them by heart.
That is very good.
I don't know if I am right or not. That's why I want to ask you.
That is very good. What subjects do you read to them, or what subjects do you all talk about?
Different subjects, because as I have said that we teach English as a second foreign language. That's why we teach them different subjects. For example, it can be connected with food, with the phrases of our casual use.
Okay, with the phrases of your casual youth?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
For example, the phrases which we use in our daily usage. Yes, maybe.
Oh, yes. Okay. So your everyday talk.
Yes, every day. Yes.
Every day. The way people naturally talk every day. And are they interested? Can you hold their attention?
Sorry?
Are they very interested in what you talk about, and you can hold their attention, meaning they are excited about learning what it is you are teaching them?
Yes, they are so excited. Yes. Because we use also games, especially listening. We use listening methods. Yes, maybe.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's
And
very
I
good.
try to, yes, I try to keep them to be motivated.
Excellent. And that's the main thing that you want to do. That is very important, to keep them motivated and also to inspire them. And you inspire them by talking about things, reading about things that they care about, that they are interested in, that they want to talk about. Because if you're teaching them those things, then you have their attention, you have their focus, and it's a great experience for everyone.
One of the things too, Aisha, regarding your question about teaching your students ties right into what Sonia has posted in the chat. So Sonia says, sometimes we have vocabulary knowledge, but we can't make sentence structure correct. So how can we improve? One of the things that you would do is similar to what I just said that we're doing now, Sonia. Learn small pieces of the sentence. So Aisha says that she teaches students, and I think she wants them to learn the letters of the alphabet. The letters of the alphabet, of course, Aisha, you can learn that going to YouTube. Have your students as an assignment when they go home or do it in class. Just listen to a YouTube or whatever and learn the first A, B, C, D, E. Just learn the first 5. I'm sure they probably know all of the alphabets, even if they can't say them, but learning them. And we learned them when we were growing up just through song. I didn't necessarily know where the Z came or the D, but eventually I could sing the song and I learned it. Now to Dawana's point, Aisha, you have to find something that they're interested in. And I can't think of anything at the moment, but let's just say that I've got this camel. This is a camel.
Yes.
We want to find a way for each student, or maybe 3 of the students, to talk about this camel. So Aisha, what is this? What is this, Aisha?
It is camel.
Okay, so there at this very moment, when I ask you, what is this? The correct answer would be, this is a camel, not it's a camel. What is this?
This is a camel.
Aisha, what is this?
This is a notebook, a composition book.
Good. This is a. Aisha, what is this?
This is a mobile phone.
Great. So you have your structure. You have to develop the structure small before you start saying it's, because when you say it's camel, this is incorrect. Sonia wants to introduce vocabulary. What do we do with the camel? We travel. What are some longer words, Dawana, that we use with traveling as we build our vocabulary? Travel, movement, transportation, going places.
Hit the road.
What is it, Hasim?
Hit the road, doctor. To hit the road.
Yes. And so if we wanted to
that's
idiom,
that's one of the idioms. Yeah. That's one of the
it.
idioms that I like and use a lot.
So, and my point for you, Sonia, is that in order to build your vocabulary, it has to have meaning. It isn't that you just want to fill up a journal book with words. Somewhere this is full of words. You know, you don't want to just write and write and write, but you want it to have meaning. So as you are going through the alphabets, Aisha, to teach the students the alphabet, maybe you've got A is for apple, B is for ball. Find a picture of this something, and then you hold it up. C is for?
C is for camel.
C is for camel. Then, so we've got apple, ball, and a camel. Let's see if I can make a sentence. I played ball before I hit the road, riding my camel and eating my apple. So you just make it up. You make things up, but you're making it fun. This is why learning should not be a chore, and you have something to laugh about. Because now, Sonia, I have an idiom. It doesn't necessarily help you with your vocabulary words, but you've got an idiom now. You can ride this camel and hit the road. This camel may be called something else in your language. Dito, what is this called? What would you call this other than a camel?
Well, in Arabic, camel is called al-jamal. Al-jamal.
So you see, I could learn that is another vocabulary. That would be a vocabulary word for me. I'd first have to learn how to hear it, truly hear it. I hear the sound that you're saying, but it's not connecting just yet. But the more I listened, I will be able to say that whatever you said. So that's how we start. So Hans, I think someone else has joined us for today.
Yeah, I've just admitted him. And let's say hello to, let me spell his name first. It's Nigar Sadiqi. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
I'm doing fantastic as well. Could you please give us the pleasure of your video?
I'm sorry, actually it's night here, so I'm in my bedroom. I'm watching you guys.
What time is it for you? And where are you from? What time is it for you?
I'm from Kashmir. It's 11:33.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much for giving us a part of your time today. Thank you so much for being here. I think
Yeah, you're
Aisha would like to ask you a question. Aisha?
Yes. Thank you for that's a great question, Doctor. I want to know where are you from, Nigar? Because I didn't hear the answer.
What was the question?
Where are you from? Where are you from, Nigar?
Yeah, I am from Kashmir, India.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, Aisha, that's very good. Now that you've been in this session for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, when you ask the next person a question such as, where are you from? So let's practice with Dewana. Aisha, say, Dewana, I am from wherever you're from. Where are you from? And listen to her answer. Sonia, listen to the way that Aisha and Dewana are going to interact in this short conversation. Aisha?
Yes. I am from Armenia. Where are you from, Dewana? Dewania.
Dewana, you're muted. Aisha, ask her again. Ask her again. Ask her again.
I am from Armenia. I am from Armenia. And where are you from, Dewania?
I am from Memphis, Tennessee, but I live in New York City.
Mhm.
Okay. And I like the way Coach Zuana is trying to make her English clearer. That's so nice of you.
Because I always talk so fast. Usually I'll be like, I'm from New York. Usually I would be like, I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, but I live in New York.
You know, I got used to that rhythm.
I know, right?
So,
okay, Doctor, let's welcome the two members that has just joined. We have Laith, and he's an active member on the Speak Excellent English Facebook group. Hello, Laith.
Hello, host. How are you? How's it going with you?
I'm doing fantastic. What about you?
Thank you. I'm very well. Thank you for your asking. Thank you.
And Doctor, we have Jamil Nasser, and he's a very, very, very active member as well. Hello, Jamil. Jamil. Okay, maybe he has some sound issues.
All right. So we're going to continue. You all are doing an amazing job. So what I want to say and emphasize for those that will watch the replay of this, that because my greatest joy comes from putting together material and resources for you all to learn. I do have courses available on my website that's valued at $2,997. However, because you are my group that I started with, I have a 4-week course that is available for you. It isn't for everyone, and it's limited to 15 individuals that you can purchase this for $49.97. But this small group course is limited to only 15 individuals. So if you want to develop your fluency, if you're tired of Googling, if you're tired of wondering, why can't I do this thing better? Why can't I do that thing better? Those things being building your vocabulary that makes sense, being able to structure sentences correctly, being able to carry on simple conversation. And then, of course, for those of you, you will have the opportunity to work in the small group for the period of a 4-week course and develop your English speaking skills. So if you are interested, Haas, go ahead and post that link for the strategy session. It would be that last one, that if you'd like to have a free consultation with me to talk about how to get into that course, that will be available. So Jamil, I know we have communicated often on Facebook. What questions would you like to ask that I could try and answer for you today? And again, I want to let you know that Dewana is a native English speaker as well. You can direct questions to her. And we are actually on opposite sides of the spectrum in the US. She's in the North, I'm in the South. In the South, I'm what is called a Southern Belle. You probably will understand me a lot better because I speak a little slower than she does. But she is bringing it down. She's bringing the curtain down today so that you all can easily understand her. Jamil, did you wish to say something? Jamil? All right. So Laith, go ahead and unmute your microphones when you wish to speak. If you're not speaking, you can mute yourselves so that I don't have to just keep calling on you. If you want to say something, go ahead and do so.
Do you have the, I have a question. Do you have the capacity to mute some of the participants? Okay.
I do, but right now all of them are muted themselves. I can mute them, but
my device is now unmute now, my device.
Sure, go ahead, Leigh.
Okay. About what subject do you want from me to talking about it? What is the subject?
So Leigh, did you receive an invitation to attend the session today?
Yes, I received.
Okay,
I
so
received on my email. Yes.
So what did it say that the subject would be? Tell me. What did it say the subject would be?
Actually, and unfortunately, I didn't read it all. I read a few because I was very busy. I'm sorry, that's my bad. But when I know, when I know that there is a live, I was very exciting to join it.
Okay, so maybe Aisha or Sonia can answer the question for you.
Wait a minute. Leigh, did you say my bad?
Yes.
Did you say my bad? Okay.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
That's
Thank you.
Definitely slang. Definitely
slang. I love the slang. My bad. My bad. You got that. You used that perfectly.
Yeah.
My bad.
My bad.
Well, Coach Dewana has a very high sense of humor.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Can you, ma'am, I have a question about active and passive voice from Diana. Diana, would you like to guide me about active and passive voice?
Active and passive.
Yes, active and passive.
Oh,
because in the eastern state, mostly teachers and the people concentrate on active and passive voice, no on spoken English.
I'm not really understanding the difference. What she wants to know the difference between active and passive.
Yes. So what it actually means is that what she's doing is actually focusing on grammar.
Okay.
Yes.
So what I want to emphasize for you, Sonia, that when you're speaking, you are practically always speaking in active voice. When you're writing, which is not what we're doing, this is when I talk about speaking is not about knowledge. Writing has more to do with knowledge because you're writing something for the interpretation of someone else. So when you're writing and you have, for example, something, if I say, what are you doing? Sleeping. That's passive. Active is, what are you doing? I'm taking a nap because I was very tired. I'm giving you more details. But there is a difference when you're writing and speaking. And what this isn't right today It isn't about speaking. I mean, it isn't about writing. So when you're talking about active voice and passive voice, you're literally talking about something that is written. When we make words dance on the page, when we write something and it seems like it was raining. What is the weather like? It's raining. What is the weather like? It was a torrential rain. The rain was coming down so heavily. You can see it, you can feel it, you can experience it.
Yes.
That's the difference between passive and active. So when someone is actually asking you about passive and active voice, it's more to the fact that they're talking about writing. But this isn't what we're doing. So your question would be to Duana. Duana, can you give me an example of how I could make a sentence come alive? Ask her that question, Sonia.
Okay. Ma'am, please repeat your question, then I can follow you.
You would say, Duana, could you please give me an example? Duana, could you please give me an example of an action sentence?
Okay. Duana, could you give me an example of an action sentence?
Well, let me think about it, because I don't think on my feet as fast as Dr. Priscilla.
Did you hear that idiom, think on my feet? Now, obviously,
I have a question. Can I ask?
Okay, well, just a moment. Let Duana answer Sonia's question.
I have a question.
When I finish answering Sonia's, then we're going to take yours. So remember it, Laith. Don't forget the question. My question was an active sentence. I am very hungry, and when this call is over, I'm going to jump out of my seat, run to the kitchen, and eat a big meal.
Mm.
Okay.
Do you understand, Sonia?
Yes, I understand. But if we ask, I want to ask, if means we ask, did you break a cup? Did you break a cup?
Did
you break a cup? How we would change it into passive voice?
Oh, okay. Okay, let me answer that for her.
Okay, go ahead, Haas.
Okay. So when you say that I break a cup, you will just reverse the object with the subject, and then you keep the verb in the middle.
Yes, the cup is broken by you.
Yeah, and that's the rule. You already know the rule.
Yes, but when we use the question mark, when we are using did, when you are asking, did you break a cup, then how would we change it into passive voice?
Questions cannot be turned into passive forms. Only active form can be turned into a passive form. Did you get that?
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And again, Sonia, you're focusing on grammar. This is not what we're doing. It is not grammar.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine, because you need to know the difference. You will need to know the difference. You would not say I break a cup. I break a cup is wrong. I broke a cup. But there again, it has to be in the form of conversation. It isn't just like having a sentence that you're going to learn. You won't learn it. You have to learn it in the context of doing something. I broke the cup. If I were to drop my cup, physically drop this cup, and it shatters into pieces, I broke my cup.
Yes.
But if I give you, I know many English language learners, you do a lot of tests in school. You fill in the blank, you cross out this word, you add a word, but it's not real. So this is why, just like Aisha has to learn the letters of the alphabet, you need to have something a little more concrete, more tangible that I can see. This is a camel. It starts with the letter C. Okay, Laith. Duana, Laith had a question.
Yes. My question was, what is the meaning of action sentence? Is the sentence so has motion or not? Motion, for example, swim, or like that. For example, I feel hot, so I went to swim. Is this action sentence or not?
It sounds more like we're still talking about grammar.
Yes, and they already told us that they are not means.
So
Telling us.
I know you said that you didn't read the instructions, but it said we were going to talk about pronunciation and speaking.
Okay.
Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question from Ma'am Diana. Diana, can I ask a question from you?
Yes.
Of you. May I ask a question of you? May I ask a question of you, Duana?
Duana, may I ask a question of you?
Yes, by all means.
Duana, how can we improve our public speaking?
And so, Sonia, your question is, how can I?
How can I? Okay. How can I? Means because we are, I am asking for everyone, means for my friends, for means my siblings. So therefore, I use the word we. So,
Okay, I understand, and that would be correct if you're asking for other people. It would be correct. I'm asking, how can we improve our public speaking?
Yes.
Ask your question again, Sonia.
Duana, how can I improve my public speaking?
That is a great question.
Thank you.
You can improve your public speaking by learning what you are learning today. How to speak fluently, whatever language it is. This is good practice for me. As Haas knows, it makes me slow down because usually I'm talking so fast, people don't really understand what it is I'm saying, and the words are coming out of my mouth so fast. So I tell Dr. Priscilla all the time, when I talk to her, I listen differently. So to speak publicly better and improve your public speaking, you listen well, you slow down and pronounce the words that you're saying, understand what the words mean and how to use them.
Okay. Good. Very informative.
Yeah, she's so helpful today. Coach Duana is so helpful today. What she was saying is that practicing is the recipe for making a good public speaker, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So what was your question, Laith?
You got a new one?
No.
Yes.
Duana, I have my sister with me. She is 10 years old. She wants to ask a question from you because she really impressed from your spoken and your style of teaching.
Well, let's hear from Laith first, and then we will take your sister's question. Okay, Sonia?
Okay.
Laith.
Thank you, Duana. My
You're
question
welcome.
was, what is the action sentence?
I'm going to let Dr. Priscilla.
Well, I'm going to give that one to Haas because I don't understand the question. I don't understand the question.
Yeah, well, as far as I remember, I believe that an action sentence is a sentence where an action verb is used. An action verb is like moving or doing something like that consists on moving. Did you get that, Lace?
Okay, so if that's the case, then what he's saying is an action.
I got it. Thank you.
Any sentence that has a verb in it. First, we have to know what the noun, pronoun, verb, adjective. A verb is an action. Moving, ing, going, traveling, drinking, eating,
sleeping, walking, talking.
Yeah. But again, Laith, here's the thing. Knowing what an action sentence is out of the context of anything, it isn't going to stick with you. You just will leave this session and know that we told you to use a word that had ing in it. What are we doing today, Laith? What am I doing right now? What am I doing right now?
You are talking.
Yes, that is your action sentence. Dr. Priscilla is talking.
You are teaching.
Or teaching. Yay!
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
Sonia, your sister's question?
Yes, Dwana.
Hi, I'm Sonia.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Sonia's sister. I want to ask you a question. How can I speak English fast just like you?
I'm going to say what Haas said. Practice what you're learning today. Practice makes perfect.
Perfect.
So practice. If there's a word that you hear today, more importantly, if there's a sentence that you hear today, keep repeating that sentence because practice will make you a better English speaker.
Yeah. And oftentimes we hear English learners say that they don't have a partner to practice with, but this cannot hinder a real English learner, someone who is eager to take his English to the highest level he can. So just keep practicing, even when you don't have a partner to practice with. You can go to YouTube. You can practice with yourself. I used to stand up in front of the mirror to create like situations in my mind, to create problems and to try to solve them like using English. And it helps me a lot. So it's all about practicing.
And also what I do many times, there are many English words that I don't know how to pronounce. So I go to the dictionary on my internet. I go to the dictionary and it will pronounce the word for me. And I sit and I say it 5, sometimes 7 or 8 times until I can remember how to say the word correctly.
Yeah. Well, doctor, do you still remember the word petrichor?
Petrichor.
Yeah.
No, I remember it. I remember someone wanted to use it and we learned it. But here's the thing. If you just have a list of vocabulary words and you don't use them, it's there in my head, but I can't remember it. Did it have to do with rain?
Exactly.
But it's so vague and so long away that I remember, but I don't know how to use it in a sentence because I probably didn't use it since the last time someone mentioned it in a session. Laith was in that same session, I believe. Laith, do you remember what petrichor means? I can pronounce it. And Aisha probably was in that session as well. What does it mean? Haas?
Yeah. So guys, do you remember the word petrichor? It was in one of the sessions that we had together last summer. And the word petrichor means the smell that comes right after the rain falls down, like on a very dry land. That smell is called petrichor.
Okay, very good. Now, use it in a sentence for us, or give us a scenario or a situation where not just knowing the definition, but hearing the word, we will now know what it means.
Okay. Okay, let me think of a situation where we we can use the word petrichor. So we're in summer, and then rain is like very rare, and it's not like raining very heavily. So petrichor is something that we encounter in summer, like at least 2-3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a great sentence.
Okay, right. I still would not necessarily know what it would mean. So to give me the scenario, we would talk about the rainy season. Here in the South, we get a lot of rain in the spring. And the best time for the rain is when we have that essence of petrichor. The air is nice and refreshing. So you still may not necessarily know, but you know that it has something to, there's a pleasant smell about it. So it's not an easy word to use. To me, that word petrichor would be better suited for writing. When you're writing about something, to make your writing come alive. Like, ooh, you know, you're just sitting at the beach and all of a sudden the petrichor rain comes and you rush inside for shelter or something. You're not necessarily understanding what it means, but you know it has something to do with rain. But yeah, we did a session, or I think a week-long session, come with questions and build your vocabulary. So everybody was to come with 3 vocabulary words that they were to learn to use. So good job, Boss.
Thank you, Doctor. So the reason I mentioned that word is that I wanted to tell Sonia that even when you're a native English speaker, you sometimes forget about words that you don't use.
Oh, we never have had a reason to even know it. In that.
Okay.
So Laith, what time is it for you where you are today? What time is it?
The time in Jordan is 9:30 p.m.
Okay, 9:30 p.m. So when we talk about time, Laith, rarely would we say it's 9:30. Sonia, when we talk about time, we typically say in English, it's 9:30, or if it's 15 minutes to the hour, it's 9:45, or 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30, 10:45, or whatever the whole hour is. Rarely, but we could say half past the hour. Okay. So what time is it in Jordan, Laith?
The time in Jordan right now is 9:31.
9:31, perfect. So Sonia, you were the only one who came to the session with a real goal in mind. And your goal was to be able to say something with fluency. And I want to applaud you today because I know that you're leaving the session, Sonia, with the ability to speak something with fluency. You had a lot of questions, but as I said, it's better to focus on one thing and get some measure of mastery. Your sister wanted to understand how to speak quickly. And in order to speak quickly, I don't speak as quickly as Duana, but Duana, let's go into maybe like a 30-second conversation that we're just really speaking about whatever comes to your mind based upon whatever it is that I say. And I'm picking up the speed right now because I don't know exactly what I'm going to talk about, but I love that plant in the back of your room. Where'd you get it?
Oh, actually, my friend Tamara Tooney gave me that plant. She was going to work out of the country and she said, would I take care of the plant? And I said, by all means.
Okay, that was really nice of her. And you'll also find when Americans are speaking that we will start to speak over the other person. And it's not necessarily being rude. Sometimes it can be rude, but it's just like, okay, well, that's just
going to. Rude if I just jumped in like this right now and I just cut her off in the middle of what she was saying. That would be rude. However,
right. So you'll hear that kind of conversation and you're thinking that you didn't really get the entire piece of that information. Well, I think that was really wonderful that your friend would give you that plant. So where did your friend go to?
She went to New Zealand to work on a movie and she was gone for 2.5 months, but she went during COVID. So she had to quarantine for 2 weeks before she could start work.
Okay, so now, Sonia, you've heard me ask Duana something about something. She gave me an answer. What did you understand about that conversation? Our pharmacist, he's going to work.
Yeah.
Good question, Dr. Priscilla. I think she told about her friend. She went to New Zealand, and due to the COVID-19, she had quarantine almost 2.5 months. 2 weeks. She had quarantine almost 2 weeks there.
Okay, very good. So your listening is good. You did get the gist of my asking the question. You got the response, and that was very, very good. All right, so we have about 20 minutes more. Haas, lead us on.
Okay. Okay. I wasn't expecting that question, Doctor, but I will deal with it. Okay. Well, I see that Abdel Hamid is at work. I don't want to embarrass him and ask him a question. Someone might interrupt anytime.
I'm listening.
Okay. We haven't heard from you a lot. And maybe you can tell us about something you're interested in, something that you want to share with us today.
Something I want to share.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me say something about Dr. Priscilla's classes. Well, at first, when I joined Dr. Priscilla's classes, I couldn't even move my mouth. It was hard for me to speak in English. And when I attend her classes, I feel comfortable, and I start to feel better. And with the practice every day, I feel I'm better now. Something I learned from Dr. Priscilla is practicing is the key to succeed in English. I've been watching a series. It's called Friends. It taught me a lot about how to speak in your daily life. It's about 6 friends.
Yeah,
you know, it's pretty cool. It's helped me a lot, and I've watched the 10 seasons twice.
Oh,
I want to watch it more. It's really helpful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I do acknowledge that your English is great. It's just great. And I heard you saying that one of the things that you do in order to practice your English is watching movies, watching series, right?
Yeah, it really helps. It helps me, and it makes me really improve. I feel more confidence now. I couldn't express my feelings.
Okay.
Right?
We feel that. You don't have to say that. We feel that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, Doctor, I just want to remind those that are with us in the live stream and those that will be watching the recording later that Coach Duana is having a breathing session on Saturday.
Thank you. I am. Thank you so much for bringing that up, Haas. It's going to be 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
And you have to register. You can go to my Facebook page and register, or go to my Instagram page, because I'll have where you register if you want to learn how to breathe correctly. But I love what Dido was saying about watching Friends. What I want to know is, so when you're watching it, what do? When you hear something, do you stop it and repeat it?
Well, while I'm watching Friends, I try to learn new vocabulary words. I try to write them down on papers, and try to use them in sentences. This is the first thing I do. And the second thing I do, I hear them speaking and try to imitate them. It really helped me to improve my speaking skills. And I really love this series.
It was a good series. It was
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. You can laugh and learn at the same time.
And that is one of the benefits of the programs like Friends. It isn't heavy. The characters are consistent, that you start to anticipate what they're going to say. And the way that they say what they say, they use short structured sentences when they're speaking. And this is when the English language learners start to imitate. Even though you can't say exactly what they're saying, you can feel that emotion, and then you're able to voice what it is that they're saying. So Friends is a really good story to watch. Madam Walker, not Walker, Speaker of the House. Do you know that one, Dewana? She's a lady. Madam Secretary. Madam Secretary is another good
secretary.
Because they don't have too many characters in there, and you can start to follow that one character. Now in Friends, I think it's maybe 5 or 6, but they're always the same 6. And you start to know what each one is going to embody in terms of conversation.
Okay. So we don't have so much time before the end of the session, Doctor. And we just want to say hello to the member that has just joined. She's a woman. Her name is Agnishiha. Am I pronouncing your name right? Hello there.
So if you will unmute your mic, well, I think she's gone. Sometimes there is technical difficulties. Sometimes that is the awareness of being on live, that there is that reserve. But please, those of you who will watch the replay of the live stream, don't shy away from every opportunity that you get to practice speaking. And as we near the close, I want to say again that this is my favorite way of teaching in small groups. I'm really happy that you guys are here. And if you go to my online course, you'll see that my courses are priced at the value of $2,997. But in these small group courses, such as this, the 4-week course that I have going on now, you are able to join for $49.97. During this 4-week course, we will meet many times. We have our own private Facebook group. And in this private Facebook group, this is where you hone in on those skills that you want to become proficient in. It isn't for everyone, but it is limited to 15 individuals. So for those of you who are watching the live stream and believe that this is a good fit for you, I want to invite you to jump on in and invest in yourself so that you can be, as we will say, what is it that we say, Haas? So that you can become
the best version of yourself.
The best version of yourself. So we really appreciate that. All right. So Abdelhamid or Dido, thank you for allowing us to speak your name in abbreviated form. So oftentimes when the letters come together, it's very hard for me to think about how can I put these letters together to come out with a name and do it phonetically and be correct with it. So thank you for allowing us to have the abbreviated form. Sonia, I want to thank you for shying away from your guest to be with us today. This lets me know that being able to develop a skill set that is going to benefit you today and in the future is going to serve you well. Because I know in my country, in my hometown, if I have guests, they may just leave. Like you wanted to go talk to some other people and you have guests. So I want to say thank you for allowing us to be with you at this time.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And Doana, both of you. I tried to learn from both of you, and it was very interesting discussion and session with you.
Yeah. Keep up
Because
the hard work, Sonia.
And you know, I think I speak means very fast, and I should speak little slowly, mean not very fast, to make understand others better.
Okay.
Because
So Sonia, so
today I learned from you that we should not speak fast, as we mean speak normally at home or means outside.
And the key to your success, Sonia, is going to be to just learn short phrases. I'm not necessarily talking about grammar, but it is because speaking is built upon grammar, but it's the grammar that comes naturally. Little, slowly. There is a rule. It's slower. You want to speak a little slower, or you want to speak slowly. You wouldn't have the little to modify the slower. I don't know what the rule is, but it's when you start to speak. So you want to speak slowly. Dwana has actually spoken slower than she normally does. So she's speaking slowly. I've used various phrases with the word slow, slowly, and slower. But I'm not thinking about it. It's just that when you start to speak and you hear other people speak, you'll know which one to use. And it is okay if you don't use the correct one. The goal is to be understood. So as we're going through the process, we know that Lath had wanted to know about action sentences. So when we say that we're going to start slowing down our speech, slowing, it ends in ing. And that's just a quick, dirty rule. Verbs will end in ing. There are some verbs that are not ending in ing, but just a rule of thumb, if it has ing in it and you're taking a test, go with the ing. That's how you ace most of the tests. And I believe that that is what English language learners do. They're not proficient in speaking, but man, when I look at the scores, I was watching a television program, people outside of the United States, they are crushing it. They are crushing it on tests. Give me that test. Oh no. But if I have to speak it, I can ace it. So that's where the weakness is. So you want to get every opportunity that you can to practice speaking. So don't sleep on opportunities to join sessions like this and practice. I'm so proud of you, Sonia, for speaking up and asking questions. So this is really, really great. Lath had a few questions, but not too many, but I'm sure that they're there. It's our pleasure.
Thank you so much, Dr. Priscilla, for your encouragement, for your support, because your encouragement means your encouragement helped me to ask more and more questions and to clear my concept and ideas about the language. Because we are not native speakers. We can write means we can write better, but means there means because our schooling is not like European schools or means American schools, because we live in Asia. So we have different system, different structures. So if we want to learn anything in English, then we have to work hard ourselves rather than depending on others or school or colleges.
Yeah, and Sonia, Dr. Priscilla has a lot
Thank you so much. It was really interesting discussion. Thank you so much, Dr. Priscilla. You really inspired me. You are a great teacher.
And Dr. Priscilla has some special surprises for those that want to join her private pet sessions. And the link is already in the chat box below. So if you're interested in revealing those surprises, just join those classes.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Haas. So yes, there are amazing results that can be achieved just by investing in yourself. No one can do that for you. even though Dito says that he watches Friends and he watches television programs and he takes notes and he speaks English very well, one of the things that is going to take you farther, faster, and quicker is with a coach. With a coach, you get immediate feedback, and that is going to make all the difference in the world. Coach Duana has talked about her breathing coach. I am a part of her breathing coach. One might think, I know how to breathe. I might think I know how to speak. You know how to speak, but we all can benefit from someone else intervening and helping us do what we do better. So Leif, I want to hear a little more from you in the few minutes that we have. Try to engage in a conversation about something. Not so much that you're asking a question, but maybe you can tell us something about Jordan. Where would be a good place for us to go? I want to have you exercise your voice. And if you can turn your camera on as you're speaking, that would be perfect. Tell us a little bit about Jordan or anything, or food.
Okay, I will talk about my country, Jordan. Favorite meal in Jordan is called al-mansaf. Is mansaf. Do you know it? Okay.
Yeah, I know. And I was about to ask the question about that meal. How is it made? How do you prepare it?
Yes, it's preparing is very easy actually. Rice and meat and yogurt. You can use yogurt, yes. It doesn't need many time on stove. Okay. Just it is very easy to prepare.
And how often do you eat that meal? Is it like twice a week, or do you prepare it only in occasions?
In Jordan, there are many meals to prepare, so you can say twice a month. Yes, twice a month. Yes, because there are another meal is called magluba. Do you know it? Magluba.
Yeah. Mashed meat.
Yes.
Potatoes and some rice.
Yes, rice and meal, and we can use a chicken with it.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And does it take so much time to get prepared?
Yes. The capital of my country is Amman. Okay.
Okay.
What is the type of information you want to tell you about my country?
Yeah, I want to know about the weather in Jordan.
It's more about
the weather.
It's more about giving you the opportunity to speak about what comes to your mind. Anything
I know. But there is much information to tell you about Jordan.
You just tell us what you, just tell us
tell us something.
I have a question.
Interesting that makes us to want
I
to
have a question. I want to know. I was reading the other day about King Hussein's daughter that married the king of Dubai, and they got divorced. Are they divorced? And how did the people of Jordan feel about that?
About the divorce.
Were they upset? Was she supposed to get a divorce? Because it was not very pretty. She had to like escape and get to the UK with the two children, and he was very upset.
Yes, you are right.
I don't think
I live in Jordan and I live my king. So what will just I love my king and I love my country, so I will follow them in anything. I will follow.
So what makes him upset, it makes you upset too.
Yeah, we understand that.
Yes,
we understand that he doesn't want to take part in political topics, but that's totally fine.
It is.
That's
It
fine,
is.
Leif.
It was so
Yes.
interesting, though. But she wasn't living in Jordan. She was living in Dubai.
Dubai, yes.
Jordan, right?
Yes, Dubai
It was
is
King
near to
Hussein's
Jordan.
daughter that married the ruler, or is he the king of Dubai? I don't know. But I just know that the person in Dubai, he was an interesting character. I would have been happy. I'm happy she got away. I'm just saying.
No. Money is not all thing. Money is not all thing, actually.
Yeah, and I understand that Coach Duana is trying to blend you in a conversation that you would take part of it, but that's fine. So you haven't answered my question yet, Leif. I wanted to know about the weather in your country. Is it like very hot the whole year? Is it cold? Is it warm?
Yes. The weather in Jordan is divided into two parts. At the north, or in the north, it is, or I will start in the south. The south weather is, the location is desert, or whole south is desert. So the weather is hot. While
what about the
in
north?
the north, yes, in the north, it is weather is near to weather like Palestine. You know Palestine? Yes, the weather in Palestine is the same as the weather in Jordan, north of Jordan.
Okay. Okay. So I understand that the weather in the southern part is hotter, much hotter than the northern part, right?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for answering my question.
Maybe I don't give you a answer percent 100%, but I try to give you.
You did find like this. You will find strength in having more opportunities to practice speaking English. So even
Really, thank you for this meeting. I would like to say thank you very much, or thank you until 100. Thank you.
Okay, it is my pleasure. And the more opportunities that you get to practice, whether you join the 4-week coaching session or you join at a later time, every opportunity that you get to practice, you should practice. So Sonia had a question, Duana, I think she had wished to ask of you, and then we're going to end the session. Cost.
Yes, Duana, may I ask a question?
Definitely.
Thank you, Duana. Duana, would you like to share details of your course? Means in breathing, what do you teach?
What do I teach? I teach people how to breathe correctly, because that is the first line of defense when we are trying to heal ourselves. Many of us breathe through the mouth, or when we breathe through the nose, we breathe with the chest as opposed to breathe with the belly. It's important to remember that you always want to breathe and exhale through the nose, not the mouth, because the nose will purify the air and it will help take away the toxins, make them weaker. So we want to breathe through the nose and we want to breathe into the belly.
Okay, I want to say thank you guys for coming. Of course, there's always something else after the hour. At the top of the hour, I have another place that I need to be. My takeaway for today is that I'm so excited to have you guys join me live in this live stream. And I hope that some of you will take advantage of the 4-week course. For those of you who are desiring to have a conversational English coach, I'd like for you to consider me, if not today, maybe sometime in the future. Dito, give me your takeaway from today.
Well, it was a great session today. I really enjoyed it. And I always enjoy learning from you guys. You are the best. I learn a lot when I listen to you speak, and it's always a pleasure for me. Thank you, really, really thank you for your efforts, for everything you do to help people speak confidently, and thank you guys. I really appreciate what you do.
It's our pleasure. Sonia, what is your takeaway for today?
Thank you so much. I learned a lot from Dwana and you, and your encouragement.
It was my pleasure. Laith, what is your takeaway for today? You may unmute.
Can you re-ask your question, please?
What did you learn today? What did you enjoy about today's session?
I enjoyed to talk to you and whole members in this meeting, and I would like to say thank you all. And I learned many definitions, like what is the meaning of action verb, and it's long time to practice my speaking level. So I will. It's long time to do. It's long time. Okay, so this is the first time after maybe 3 weeks. So thank you for this chance, and I would like to join in any meeting you will do. That will be honor for me, and I hold a love feeling or feelings love for all you.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Dwana, I'm going to ask Haseen to take us out. So what is your takeaway for today? And thank you so much for coming and joining with us today.
It's my pleasure, Doctor. Thank you for
you were close.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
Speak first.
That's okay. I was just so happy to show up and to be a part of this wonderful community. And my takeaway is how important it is, no matter what language is being learned or spoken, to listen. Because even when Sonia and Dido and Laith were talking, I have to listen so I can understand what they're saying. So listening is so much a big part of speaking.
Thank you so much. It was a great session with two great teachers.
Okay.
Thank you, Sonia. And Haas,
yeah.
take it out.
Yes, they are.
I want to thank everyone for participating in today's session, particularly Coach Tawana. She always adds like her own touch of motivation. I love that smile that never leaves her face. I wanna thank Abdelhamid Al-Shab, Sania, Laith, and Aja that left for being here today. And thank you, Doctor, for letting me co-host with you today. Thank you.
Okay. So with that said, everybody say goodbye.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye. Can't wait till the next
care,
time.
everyone.
You guys are doing great too.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.